What's good, people? It's your boy Cam, one half of the football frame of mind, and we continue our hits and misses NFL draft series. Um, Today with the Carolina Panthers, a team that relatively just started their franchise, man. 95, 96, something like that. They've had some pretty cool picks, man. So I'm really interested to get into it, man. But nonetheless, you know the drill. Like and subscribe to the channel. Got a host of content for you. Whatever you like, we got it. Just come check it out, man. The water's fine over here, man. So, 31,000 subscribers, man. Give a big shout out to y'all. Um, as we continue to grow, we start getting into training camp stuff, and then after the draft, we obviously do some content about the draft grades and things like that. And then, of course, if you've been watching our channel for a while, you know we do our preseason breakdown at some point throughout the preseason, getting you ready for college and pro. So stay tuned for that. It's gonna be really cool, man. Summer's gonna be awesome. Got a lot of content for y'all, man. So without further ado, man, let's get into this thing, man. Let's get into it. All right. So the Carolina Panthers, man, to figure out the 2000s, you got to figure out what they did before that, right? So Kerry Collins, obviously their first draft pick ever, was pretty good for them. I mean, he got himself a Pro Bowl, and he's a pretty good quarterback, man. I mean, like not like super good, but like pretty good. I mean, had some winning seasons, especially in Tennessee, in New York. He turned out to be a pretty good quarterback. Got them to a Super Bowl and everything. Um, Ended up with 40,000 passing yards. Like that's pretty good if you ask me. His run in Carolina wasn't the best, but they weren't a good team either. Not really. You know, expansion teams have a tough go at it, man. They have a really tough go at it. But nonetheless, um, so you know, that's just kind of how it went for him there, man. But he turned out to be a pretty good player, though. Just Carolina was just figuring shit out, man, and they just weren't, that good. But Gary Collins definitely was worth being picked. But when you're on an expansion team, it's never gonna go that well, right? So you see this name right here, man. Ray Caruth, man. That was a despicable human being, you know. Despicable human being. Um Despicable human being, man. But um didn't even have a chance to do nothing in his career because of what happened, man. But like I said, you know the story of Ray Caruso. It ain't really nothing to get into, but um, despicable human being. Let's just say that, man. But we end all that negativity to get into some 2000, man. Let's talk about that. All right, Rashard Anderson. They picked 23rd overall in 2000. Um, Pretty short stint, man. Didn't really do too much. Like didn't do too much, man. Like he played a little bit, but he didn't really amount to anything for them. And was out of the league by 2004, so that didn't work out for them. So that was a miss. Then you got 2001. Dan Morgan from the U, right? Pretty good player. Um, I think he had yeah, he had some injuries, man. Yeah, he had some injuries, man. But before he started having all them injuries, man, and when they went to the Super Bowl, he was a pretty good ass linebacker, man. He did exactly what he was supposed to do. Pretty good in the playoffs as well. So not too crazy, man. I'd say this is a hit. Um, he's been an executive for a little bit. And now he's the GM and the president of football operations for the Panthers. So everything comes full circle, and he's back where he started. So hopefully he can rebuild the Panthers and get them that Super Bowl that they've been really trying to get, right? So it worked out, and he was pretty good, man. He was pretty good. So I'm gonna say that's a hit. That's a hit, man. And 2002, they just go for the jugular, man. They really went all in on a difference maker. And that would be Julius Peppers, man. Julius Peppers was one of the best defensive ends in the game. I mean, you just look at the production, man. Year one, you come out 12 sacks. You know, like 7, 11, 10, 13, 2, but then 14, 10, right? So this is crazy production. You know, obviously you end up with more than 100 sacks, but to have this production in Carolina is pretty good. Then to come back later in your career to finish off where you started, and then that first year back, you get 11. He didn't even start either. That's the crazy thing about it. Didn't start, but still got 11, right? So that lets you know how good he was, man. And then the fact that's how athletic he was, right? You have a season where you get 11 sacks, man, but you also got 2 interceptions and you return one for a touchdown with 7 pass defenses. Like, come on, man. Julius Peppers was an absolute masterclass in terms of drafting, man. Draft the best player available, bro. And he was, man. I'm curious to see who else was picked in there. Who was picked first? Okay, well that's not bad. That's not bad. I mean, Houston, that's like their first pick ever, so they have to draft the quarterback. You got to draft the guy, right? You know what I'm saying? The question is, would you have draft Joey Harrington or David Carr? In this case, I would have took my chances on Joey Harrington, but shit, if Detroit would have drafted David Carr, I don't know how that shit would have went at all. But nonetheless, the Carolina Panthers get a hit for drafting Julius Peppers, man. Then we go 2003. Jordan Gross, man. Jordan Gross was there for about 11 years. Got an All Pro, 3 Pro Bowls, and started every game he played for them. So this is a hit. Have you watched this type of stuff before? I tell you, offensive linemen, I grade hits or misses is one, how long you were there, did you get awards, and how many games you started, right? And he did everything he needed to do, man. This is a hit. This is a hit, man. All right, then we go to 2004, 28th overall, Chris Gamble, Ohio State product, was with Carolina for about 8, 9 years, and he was solid, man. He was solid. Uh, got a lot of interceptions, man. Got a lot of tackles. Carolina wasn't. I mean, they went to the. Well, they went to the Super Bowl in '04, and then uh '05, right? And then so there was some winning going on, especially with John Fox there. Um, but he definitely was a key contributor to their team. Let's just say that, man. He's really good. Got some franchise records, including interceptions, including interception yardage. So yeah. So he was good. He was damn good for them. So Chris Gamble, definitely a hit. All right. So Thomas Davis is a of curious case of late bloomer, right? So he was drafted in '05, right? Let's put this in context. So he was drafted in '05, right? I want to say as a safety. I want to say he was a safety. Um, had a couple of ACL tears in his career, but battled all the way through all of that, right? And even early in his career, he was a productive ass player, right? Productive tackles, sacks, coverage, everything, right? And then he tore his ACL a couple times, and then I think he moved to linebacker. And when he moved to linebacker, that was it. He was perfect, man, perfect for them, and it worked out. Him and Luke Kuechly were absolutely menaces together, and it worked, right? And the fact that he was able to get his career back on track after all of that turned out to be pretty good, in my opinion. And then he was better later in his career. I mean, just look at the fact that this guy, after all of that, ended up going to 3 Pro Bowls and getting the first team All Pro. You know? So, what does that tell you? What does that tell you? He was good, man. Really good. So this is a hit, man. He hit later in his career, still a hit, in my opinion. So we move on to 2006. Um, Panthers draft D'Angelo Williams. If you watched college football back then, you know about um, D'Angelo Williams. He's one of the best running backs to ever grace that. What conference was they in? Was they in Conference USA? He's one of the best to ever step foot in Conference USA. If you watched him play at Memphis, he was like, man, he looked like an NFL running back, right? And he did. And he did. Um, he had to share carries back, like when he started to really get good with another first round running back. But he was solid, man. Solid. Like they don't do anything. They don't do anything as far as running game without him. And he had some success, and it worked out. He just had to share carries. That's all. And when you have to share carries, it's not gonna look as bloated when it comes to it's not gonna look as bloated when it comes to career totals. Appreciate the like, James. Appreciate that. All right, so let's move on to '07, 25th overall. They draft John Beeson, who was there for a little while. He was there for a little minute. So, got a first team All Pro, got a second team All Pro, and got 3 Pro Bowls. So, let's see. I think this is a hit. This is a hit, baby. This is, man. Look at that production. Like, yeah, 11, probably, I think he got hurt or something. Let's find out. Let's find out what happened in 11. So he got a new deal, and he messed up his Achilles tendon, and then he lost his job to Luke Kuechly. Can you be mad at that? Can you be mad at that? You can't be mad at that. Luke Kuechly was a beast, bro. And he traded to the Giants, man. You know, so that didn't really work out as well. But early on, early on, this was a hit. But when you get replaced by a Hall of Famer, dog, because Luke Kuechly is a Hall of Famer, you can't be mad at that. But he had some success. So John Beeson, 25th overall in 2007, he was a hit for them. All right. So Jonathan Stewart, I mentioned that D'Angelo Williams. Actually, I take that back. They had 2 picks in 2008. I mentioned that D'Angelo Williams had to share carries in his NFL career. This is the person he had to share carries with, man. Jonathan Stewart, man. And even I think if he got the bulk of the carries, I think it would have been good. He would have been an 1,000-yard rusher. But I also believe that both of those guys sharing carries earlier extended their careers quite quite a few years, you know. So there you go. There you go. Nice long career. Was on the team when they went to the Super Bowl in 15. Um, and was still productive. So this is a hit, man. I think it would have been a hit if he even more you guys would understand that he was even better. But like I said, when you have to share carries, your career totals don't look the best. But it worked out for Carolina because it got them a Super Bowl. So this is a hit. Okay, so then they draft Jeff Ota. Jeff Ota. 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 Yeah. He went to Pittsburgh. He was in Carolina for about 4 seasons. He started all the games he played, but you know. So it's saying so the Carolina Panthers really liked him ahead of the draft, and then so they moved up in the draft to get him, and he started all the games his first year, and then he didn't play in 2010, and then he didn't play in 2011, and then he got traded to the Jets, and then and that was it. So he didn't pass his physical, and that was it. And then that was it. They sent him back to Carolina because the trade was done. After that, it was nullified. And then he failed again, and that was it. He was out the league in 2011, man. So I'm gonna call this a miss, especially because they gave up a lot of draft capital to get him. Right. So um, '09 they didn't have a pick, and 2010 they didn't have a pick either. So I'm curious what happened. So this was what was that? G. Okay, here we go. All right, so they traded with San Francisco. All right. So 2011, their I guess you say misfortunes changed a little bit. I mean, uh, let's see. Let's see. I'm actually curious. Jonathan Stewart first. All right. So '09, there's 8-8 with John Fox still there. Then 2010, they went 2-14. 2-14, man. And John Fox was let go. He let go. So obviously they looking for a new coach, right? Looking for a new coach, a new face, and everything. So 2011, They went for the big dog, uh, Cam Newton. They went out there and was like, we need something different. Something different. Cam Newton had a hell of a 2010, bro, in college football. Hell of a 2010. Probably one of the best Heisman seasons ever. I mean, he clowned. Like he clowned, dog. Like I mean, going through what he went through from trying to get, uh, the starting job at Florida. Tebow was still there. Tebow came back, so Cam Newton wasn't starting over Tim Tebow. He goes to junior college, balls out, highly recruited. You know, then that whole thing is like, oh man, he took money, didn't take money, almost damaged his Heisman campaign. But somehow, some way, got through that and basically won that Heisman by a landslide. Like landslide. So yeah. And then won a national championship to boot, man. Like this is crazy. You get 30 passing touchdowns and then you just casually run for 20. Nasty work. In the SEC, nasty work, man. Nasty work, man. But he goes on to the Carolina Panthers, uh, first pick overall, and changed their misfortunes, man. They're 2-14 the year before, and then go 6-10 the first year, right? Builds them up. They finally go to the playoffs. Then the 15-1 season, they go to the Super Bowl. He wins MVP. All of that, everything looks good, and then it just kind of went downhill after that. I think for me it was the drafting. They didn't get a lot better. Um, and Cam, I felt like was pressing a little bit, like just pressing a lot more than he should have, man. And he was taking a whole lot of punishment. Like after 2015, I was thinking, okay, like did all of this running and was really good. After that Super Bowl, I was like, all right, we need to dial that back a little bit. That was my opinion. Cause I was like, damn, he ain't gonna last that long if he keep running like this. Yeah, he big as fuck, but you can't really be taking that hits. This is year what, 4 or 5 for Cam going after that. So year 6 or 7, 8, you start to look a little slower because you taking all this punishment, man. But with that being said, even though I felt like he was pressing to make up for the talent deficit, um, he was still a pretty good quarterback. Still a pretty good one, man. I mean, yeah, the completion percentage was like, whatever. But I mean, 18, he's at 67%. That's a career high. You know what I'm saying? The ratios aren't that bad. He never really had a bad ratio until like later on, but New England wasn't that big a deal. But as far as like when he was actually Cam Newton, the ratios aren't bad at all, in my opinion. So good player. This is definitely a hit, and definitely helped them out a lot when you think about rebuilding their team. Then 2012, ninth overall, um, they get another pretty good player to build around, right? Um, Luke Kuechly. I mean, one of the best linebacker film tapes I've ever watched. Like, talk about a guy like that just stands out, right? Not just stands out, but like like okay, he might be an NFL player because he was not just instinctual in the run game and the pass game, but he was sideline to sideline, man. You know how much effort that takes as a linebacker to go sideline to sideline all game, every play. And then you hear him talk like he's like really into this film study. So it turns out he's one of the best players, man, that they could have drafted. You know, it sucks how his career ended on some crazy things because of concussions, man. Because he's only 28, man. And if he was doing this kind of production at 28, imagine what he'd be doing at like 35, right? 100 tackles almost every year. Really good doing his thing, man. All pro, Pro Bowls. This is a hit. And as I said, they started to rebuild this team a little bit. And that's a good thing. That's a really good thing. So at this point, I want to say Ron Rivera is the coach. So they're starting to build up into that championship year, you know, into that championship run that they had in 15. But they got to start adding some talent, right? So then they start adding some. So in 2013, they take Star Low to Lele. I think that's her name. And it was cool. He was cool, man. Um, big dude, so he needs some help in the middle. So I wasn't mad about that. Um, he was serviceable. Serviceable. Nothing like nothing too like off the charts. But he was serviceable, man. He was a big body in the middle. Um, and I would say that you got some value out of him. I think you got more value. You got more value than Buffalo did, giving him a 5-year, $50 million contract. Um, uh, that didn't really work out for them. But I'd say for Carolina, this was a man. This was a man. He did okay. Did okay. Not like what you expect as a guy picked 14, but they drafted for need and it worked. All right, so 2014, 28th overall, we get into Kelvin Benjamin, right? See, Kelvin Benjamin, if you know, you know. At Florida State, he looked really good. Like if you watch college football, he looked the part of a number one guy. He did. He looked like a number one guy. He had the size, not the speed, but he was a big body dude who knew how to use his body and catch, man. He was perfect. Perfect, man. He was the number one receiver that Cam Newton didn't have necessarily. Um and that first season, he definitely looked like him. 73 catches, 1,000 yards, 9 touchdowns. And then even the year after he was hurt, came back, did the same thing. Damn near, right? Would have got 1,000 if he played all the games. But something happened, man. Something happened. Like, he missed the season with a torn ACL, cool, right? But like he ended up like really blowing up in terms of weight concerns. Like it's like he just didn't give a fuck after that first season. And that was it, man. That was it. After that, it was done, bro. Now, he did get hurt in 2015. So I want to say maybe if they had him, that Super Bowl would have went a little different. Not saying Carolina would have won, but maybe they would have put up more than 10 points. Just saying. But injury was legit. But after that, with he's like, I guess you say, like he ate his way out the league, But I mean, I call this, I call this a miss only because he had it all to be real good, and his his um his downfall was really his fault. So I'm gonna call that a miss. Y'all let me know. But then you got Shaq Thompson in 2015. This is a guy I want to say that was playing both sides of the football in college. Yeah, cornerback, linebacker, running back. Yeah, he was good. He was good. And I want to say, did he play baseball too? Did he play baseball? I really think he played baseball. Yeah, I thought so. I thought he played baseball too. Yeah, drafted by the Red Sox in the 18th round. Um, didn't do anything in terms of baseball. They went to um, focus on football. Athlete, man. So, but in terms of his NFL career, solid, man, solid. It was a hit in my opinion for them, because they kept him around for a long time, and he produced all the way until he was released by the Panthers, man. Ended up tearing his Achilles, 2020. Yeah, yeah. So he didn't play for 3 years, two, 2 years, 2 or 3. Because 23, he ended up breaking his fibula, and then 24, he tore his Achilles after 4 starts, and then he was released after that. So, but after all of that, dude was nice, man. I'm gonna call that a hit. Very productive, there for a long time. I'm gonna call that a hit, man. And the fact that he could play all them positions, that's pretty damn good. And he played baseball, that's pretty good too. So then we get into 2016, Vernon Butler. He's with Carolina for a little bit, about 4 years. So basically his rookie contract. Um, I don't really see no stats, so let me check it out on Pro Football Reference, man. Um, so his best season was his last season, and he got 6 sacks, like 32. So I'm gonna say this is a miss. Um, 30th overall, like it just didn't work out. That's all. Ended up going to Buffalo, really didn't do nothing there, and he was out the league by 2023. So this was a little bit of a reach anyway. As you get later in the first round, it never really works out like that. Don't work out like that too much. What's good, Wendy? Good afternoon to you. So yeah, that was a miss. But the year after what? Going to the Super Bowl, you just trying to add some depth, man. But then 2017, they like, well, let's add some weapons. Let's add some weapons. And oh boy, Christian McCaffrey was that weapon, man. Christian McCaffrey, if you watch college football, You know, his run at Stanford was pretty damn good. He's pretty good, man. He was all over the field. 2,000 yards in 2015. Want to say Heisman runner up to Derrick Henry from the University of Alabama. Um, but nonetheless, he was quite good, man. Quite good in college, man. He did his thing, man. He was good. Everything. He did it all. Kick return, punt return, receiving, rushing, all that. He was good. Real good. So it wasn't surprised. I think it surprised me that Carolina picked him because I'm thinking the success he was having in college made me feel like he was gonna go way higher than what he did. So I mean, like once we get past all this riffraff, right? So looking at the 2017 draft, right? See Christian McCaffrey end up going 8. So when I'm looking at this draft, I'm thinking like, man, there's so many teams that could have used him. Like, I mean, Solomon Thomas is okay. Shit, man. Still can't get over that shit, man. What the fuck were the Bears thinking, man? Goddamn, I can't wait to get into the Bears, man. But when you look at this draft, man, I'm thinking, Jacksonville, yeah, you take Leonard Fournette. But man, is Christian McCaffrey the better pick? Like, not even thinking about their careers up until this point. I'm just thinking about going into college, coming out of college, man. What was the conversation between Leonard Fournette and Christian McCaffrey if he was going running back? I just think they made a mistake there. But nonetheless, had a pretty good career with Carolina, including some years where he had 1,000 yards receiving. Pretty good, man. I think the last few years were marred by injury. Because he's trying to go hard, man. He was the offense once they got rid of Cam Newton. So he just was toting that thing a lot, and he ain't really have a that good of a team around him, including when he got there 11-5, right? 11-5. I want to say, yeah, Cam Newton's still on the team, but he didn't do nothing. 18, they was 7-9. They didn't do nothing. 19 was his best season, and they went 5-11. Right? In 2020, 5-11. Everybody was going through shit then. In 2021, 5-12. Right? Um, 7-10. You know what I'm saying? So not nothing for real. Didn't do nothing. Then they traded them to San Francisco. They go to a Super Bowl, and had they kept feeding them, they might have won. But offensive player of the year, he was damn good. He did his thing. So this was a hit for Carolina, man. Um, Nonetheless, definitely a hit, man. So then 2018, they draft DJ Moore, and I think people saw this as I'm not gonna say a stretch. I'm not gonna say that. Not gonna say it's a stretch. But there was conversation about like why would y'all pick him? You know, Like, why would y'all pick him, right? But especially when you have people like Calvin Ridley on the board, say Cortland Sutton, I wouldn't say all that. But Christian Kirk too. Like you have some good receivers on the board. But I think the consensus was that Calvin Ridley was going to be the first receiver taken. Period. Right? And it didn't work out like that. But DJ Moore proved everybody wrong and turned into a pretty good ass receiver. Um, he was good, man. Solid. And when they traded him to Chicago, I was like, y'all messing up, baby. You gotta keep him. He the one. He the one. And he available. Look at that. 17, 17, 17, 17. All these damn games he playing. You ain't got no reason to trade him, man. Yeah, okay. We wanna, you know. Yeah, we wanna you know what I'm saying? We want to we want to trade, and then we want to, I guess, move up to number one so we can get Bryce Young, and that's cool, man. But I feel like they would have got Bryce Young anyway. I think so. I'm trying to think. Like, bear with me, people. It's supposed to be about them, but I'm just curious. So Chicago traded the first round selection, number one, to Carolina in exchange for the first, second round um, of that draft. And then a 24 first round, which became, what's the name? That became Caleb Williams. And then they get a 25 second round pick and DJ Moore. So, where the fuck was Carolina picking at before, though? So, 9? So, Carolina was 9th, so they wouldn't have. Damn, so they wouldn't have got their quarterback then. So the Bears would have drafted. Shit, man. How's that dressing? Okay. Alright. Still, I wouldn't have traded. I wouldn't have traded DJ Moore though. I wouldn't have done it, man. This is too much production, man. Too much. Especially in a time where they really didn't have no damn quarterback. He's still doing his damn thing. So nah, I wouldn't. I wouldn't have traded DJ Moore. I would have kept him. But that's a hit for Carolina nonetheless. All right, so then they draft Brian Burns, a pretty good player for them. Then they traded him away. This is some production too, man. Now I like my defensive ends to have double digit sacks, man. But when you're the only person that they really got rushing the passer, your sack totals is gonna be a little down because you're facing double teams all the time, right? But at the same time, this is pretty cool, man. He was a hit for them. Then they traded him to the Giants, and he's been productive, man. Him and Von Thibodeau are gonna be pretty good this season, and I hope the Giants still have what's dude's name, man, Dexter Lawrence the second. I hope they still got him because that's a pretty nasty front. But he was good for Carolina, man. But you gotta. What I didn't like about that is how they traded him. Like, bro, come on, man. like a fifth round pick, a fifth round pick. With this production, man, he had damn near 50, 45 sacks with them. That's ridiculous, man. A fifth round pick. Now I guess it's like more. It would be. What's good, Gilbert? What's good, Gilbert? Yeah, man. Like a fifth round pick for Burns. Now I guess it would be the equivalent of the NBA sign and trade system, right? So we'll trade him to y'all, but he got to agree to a contract extension with the new team, right? But y'all could have kept him. Y'all could have kept him. And then added some more stuff to it. I mean, like you ended up getting Derek Brown the next year, like he's on the team, you know. So you end up getting him, and then you get J.C. Horn, right? So you're getting this defense together, man. Like I just don't understand why you would do that, knowing you trying to build something, you know. But whatever. So we get into 2020, man. Get into 2020, and they draft Derek Brown. He was a beast at Auburn. Nasty. He was unblockable. Damn near, man. He was so good. Like sacks, losses, like he was just everywhere. Nasty player. Nasty player. His recruiting process was actually kind of cool. Because he's from Georgia, and everybody's like, "Oh, he going to Georgia, no doubt, right?" And then it's like Bama got in there, but then he chose Auburn, and he's damn good, man. You know, um, like he's pretty good. So I can't slight him at all. He was definitely worth being pick 7 overall. And he been good for them. He been good. He missed some time um, last season with a meniscus injury, um, which kind of sucked because he just signed a new deal, and that's not really a good look to start off with. But hopefully, this ain't nothing. He get that thing together, and he back playing. But so far, it's been a hit for Carolina, man, and he good. He real good. So hopefully he bounce back and really play a lot more this season because they gonna need him. Because Carolina ain't done sucking right now, so they gonna need that production. But then 2021 they get J.C. Horn. He's now I think the highest paid cornerback. So there you go. That's all you need to know. He been productive. He been a shutdown dude. He comes from a great lineage. His daddy, Joe Horn, was pretty damn good. Um, So y'all know he gonna be good. Like I say, he's a big dude too, not a little corner either. He's got some height and some size. So the fact that he's the highest paid corner, you already know what it is. They knew what they was doing, so they locking up some key foundation pieces. I just felt like Brian Burns could have been another one of them dudes. That's all I'm saying. Just think about that. Brian Burns, Derek Brown, and J.C. Horn on your defense. That's damn near 3 levels of your defense because Brian Burns can play standing up. But you got 3 levels of defense that's really good. Got Brian Burns who can play outside linebacker too. Derek Brown is your inside, and J.C. Horn is your corner, right? Like that smells like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers when they started trying to win. You had Warren Sapp in the middle. You had Derrick Brooks at the linebacker level, and then you had John Lynch in the defensive back level, right? But this would have been a pretty cool combination coming into 2025 if you could have kept that together. But whatever. So 2022, sixth overall. They take Ikem Ekwanu. Let me see if I said that right. Icky, that's what they call him. Because that's what the nickname is. They take Icky, man. He's still there. He's been there since 2022. He started all the games he's played. So there you go, man. I believe he might be up for a contract extension. But there you go. Well, no, not yet. Not yet. 2022? Not yet. But so far, so good. He's played every damn game that he's played in. Started them all. So this is a hit, man. JC Horn's a hit. Derek Brown is a hit. Brian Brown is a hit. But Bryce Young, man. So Bryce Young is an interesting case. All right. So to understand where I'm going, you have to understand where he came from. Right. So his high school recruitment was pretty damn good, man. Like pretty damn good. It was fun to watch because he from Cali, so you're thinking USC. Like I don't think anybody else, or maybe Oregon or whatever. When you think of West Coast, he gonna stay out there. But then he chooses to go to Alabama. And crazy scenario, right? You know, you're thinking, all right, you're going to Alabama, which was way left. But you want to do something different, man. And it turned out to be pretty good. I mean, he ended up getting the national title, got a Heisman, all of that. Everything you can think of, right? But the main problem was this size right here. He 5'10". 5'10", man. You can't see over your offensive line at 5'10". So you can imagine what people are thinking going into the 2023 draft. It's like, all right, you know, Bryce Young is cool, but CJ Stroud was pro ready in every aspect. Every aspect. So was Bryce Young. But being 6'3", 218 pounds is different than being 5'10", less than 200. So that's like what I was thinking, right? And the Panthers seem to really, really want Bryce Young to the point where it caused some contention between um, the new coach at the time, who was Frank Reich, and the ownership. You know, Frank Reich, had a really cool, he had a really cool, really cool run with Indianapolis, including, you know, some pretty cool seasons. I mean, I would like to say, yeah, he finished above 500, got to the playoffs a couple times, man. So, yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, I was just thinking, like, he was cool. But then, Frank Reich is actually a pretty good quarterback too, by the way. But causing causing friction between the head coach who wanted C.J. Stroud and the ownership who wanted Bryce Young ain't the way to go to start off the relationship between the team and whatever, right? But I want to say Dave Tepper bought that team in uh yeah, so he bought that team. Yeah, yeah, he bought that team at 18. So I don't know. I just think when you starting off a relationship with a new quarterback and the coach and the ownership want two different guys and the coach don't want the guy that ownership want and you can't necessarily go against ownership, right? That's a tough way to start. And oh boy, this season was ass. Ass, man. We end up firing, you know what I'm saying, Frank Reich. But other than that, it was just ass, bro. It was just ass. You know? You ain't do nothing in terms of the draft. Like this dude ain't on the team no more. He's on the team. He's on the team. Not on the team. So I mean, you didn't do nothing, right? Even going into that season. So it's just rough, man. It's just a rough season, man. And um had everybody kind of looking like, damn, Bryce Young ain't good at all. But he wasn't as bad as you think, man. I think this helped him a lot, specifically going into next season. Because because he needed to take them lumps, right? He needed to take them lumps, man. But he ain't have to get hit like that because he got hit a lot. But there was also a lot of good going into next season, right? So if you're Carolina, I would feel a lot better going into 2025 than I felt going into 2024. Because when he locked down that starting job and from Andy Dalton, it was pretty good. You know, he locked that starting job down, like, locked it down. You, you know, like I said, you locked it down. I want to say Andy Dalton started this game against the Raiders, but then they started to lose again, and then they gave the job back to Bryce Young, and they finished the season a whole lot better than they started, right? So I'm thinking that you feel better this season going into this season than you do the season before. So Bryce Young got some work to do, man. But the Carolina Panthers are still not a good team. So because they're not a good team, you got a lot to work on, man. But we move to 2024 and they draft Xavier Legette, country man. He country as hell. He sound country, but he play big, man. He plays big. Missed a couple games, but he was good, man. I really liked him. They traded up because I want to say they didn't have a first round pick, giving it to the Bears. But Legette's been good, man. Now I don't know if he can be a number one, but damn it, you might have to use them like that because I don't know what Carolina got coming into this season. I'm not really sure on what they got to do, but they got the eighth overall pick, and I'm thinking they need to go receiver. I really think they need a number one dude, but I don't know. I don't know. I say the meat of their draft is probably gonna be 2 through 5. They have to draft starters or impact players through the first round through the fifth round. All of them dudes gotta play and make the team. Now, sixth round, if you find somebody there, well, shit, they ain't even got that pick. But seventh round, if you find somebody, cool. But they gotta draft some good people, 1 through 5. And if they draft people in the first round to the fifth round that can actually play and contribute on the team this year, we might talk about something. But like you might need a running back at some point, man. Uh, like maybe some offensive line help. Definitely need a number one receiver. So I mean, you can't keep depending on Adam Thielen, bro. Like I love me some Adam Thielen. I do. I'm an Adam Thielen fan, bro. But bro, my man's just like 34. You can't depend on him to keep doing that shit. He about to put in his retirement package soon. You gotta find you a young dude that's gonna be able to take the mantle. I mean, you got a nice tight end and Sanders, so I mean, hey, I'll rock with that. But man, that's really my assessment of the Carolina Panthers going into the next season, man, and what I think they should do in the draft, man. But as far as their picks from 2000 till now, I think it was cool, man. I think they drafted well to put themselves in position to make that championship run that they made in '04 going against the Patriots. They drafted well, especially at the top of the draft. Impact dudes, Morgan, Peppers, Gross, Gamble, they all contributed and shit. They all damn near made either rookie teams or fucking Pro Bowls. So that team, that worked, right? As we moved into the years after that, right, you started to go into a different place, right? But Cam Newton, they started to draft pretty good. And then after their Super Bowl run, their initial Super Bowl run, or the second one in 2015, they started to not draft very well. And impact players weren't there or whatever. But now it seems like they building up to maybe another Super Bowl run at some point, or a stretch of playoff runs that could ultimately make it to a Super Bowl or whatever. But losing Burns, trading him away, that was a mistake. Christian McCaffrey, that really wasn't no mistake in my opinion because he was losing a little value because of injuries and shit. But DJ Moore and Brian Burns trading them were mistakes because those were your offensive guys. If you say they own the team right now, and then you get Bryce Young, and then you get Leggett, guess what? You got yourself a pretty good offense. Now, yeah, injuries happen or whatever, but I'd say if you kept Moore and Burns, if you kept Moore, Burns, you got offensive star power, and you got defensive star power. As I said earlier, Burns, Brown, and Horn will be like crazy good on defense right now. That would be good to have your foundation, those three guys, in my opinion. But I think they've drafted well, and from what I see from 2000, they build up into a run and then kind of sell it off and everything. What's good, Brody? What's good, Brody? You ain't got to spam, bro. You ain't got to spam. I see you. I see you. You ain't got to spam. You ain't got to spam. I see you. But yeah. So that's what I'm thinking about Carolina. They've done some pretty cool stuff, and they look pretty good, man. They look pretty good. So let me look at my wall here, man. So we talking NFC South. We talking NFC South. Thank you, Brody. For real, man. Right on, right on, right on. If we talking NFC South, right here, right here. I really think the Falcons gonna take a step forward. Um, Carolina could finish third. Third. They could finish third. Now, the highest I'd be willing to go is second. If the Bucks or if the Bucks or the Falcons kind of stink it up. But the highest I go for Carolina this season is probably third. If I was putting money down, it'd be third. So, but this has been the hits and misses of it's been the hits and misses of the 2000s Carolina Panthers edition. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, man, and give me some feedback, man. Who was a hit that you think, and who was not a hit that you think? And let me know what you think about the Panthers going into 2025, man. So, it's your boy Cam. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace. Let me find a button though. There we go.